Chapter 979. I didn't know that you were so cultured. Lin Yan glanced at Hilifeng. The corners of Hilifeng's mouth curled up as he smiled proudly. Sister, you're underestimating me. I'm not only cultured, but I'm also brave. Lin Yan, who couldn't be bothered with Hilifeng, glanced at He Muyun. Mom, this has nothing to do with you. You don't have to pay for other people's mistakes. Everyone has different thoughts, so they are destined to do different things. After chatting with He Muyun for a while, He Muyun's mood improved. Xiaofan, I asked you to get a nurse to take your grandfather's temperature. Did you do that? He Muyun asked Hilifeng. Hilifeng was startled. I forgot, it's okay. You guys go ahead. I'll take care of him. He Muyun sighed. Lin Yan was speechless. Okay, second aunt. I'll go with sister. Hilifeng nodded eagerly. Sister, let's go. I'm ready. Hilifeng glanced at Lin Yan. Where are we going? Lin Yan was startled. Didn't you say that there would be a training session for the Chinese Racing Guild today? I think I have to go and contribute to the guild, said Hilifeng seriously. Lin Yan stared at Hilifeng and frowned. Are you still asleep? Hilifeng was speechless. Take good care of grandfather. When you're free, go to the company and keep an eye on the 2 cleaners, Lin Yan instructed Hilifeng. Which 2 cleaners? Hilifeng was dumbfounded. Zhang San and Li Si, replied Lin Yan. Oh, those 2 good-for-nothings. They only eat and don't work. Every day, they clamor to eat before they reach the restaurant. They even ask me to borrow money. I'm not familiar with them. Let's get 2 cleaners, replied Hilifeng. Don't be a busybody, Lin Yan told Hilifeng impatiently. All right. Oh yeah, sister, what new show are you filming recently? Your video is trending, Hilifeng asked curiously. He Muyun's expression changed when she heard Hilifeng's words. Naturally, He Muyun had seen the video that night. If it was an ordinary trending video, the evolved humans would not pay any attention to it. However, the video from that night was definitely not an ordinary video. It involved a few evolvers, including Master Mu Yang. There had never been a fight between evolvers that had been filmed and posted on the internet. Moreover, it had been widely spread. Many evolvers had seen the video. Ordinary people might not be able to tell what was going on, but evolvers were different. They could see the key to it with just a glance. Currently, the video had already spread among the evolved humans in China. It was said that 2 extremely powerful evolved humans had appeared in China. After the battle, the female evolved human had a slight upper hand, while the other extremely powerful and mysterious evolved human had been forced to flee. After watching the video, He Muyun knew that something was wrong. However, the video had already been circulated, so she couldn't stop it. Xiaoyan, don't cause trouble and don't get into a fight. Do you understand? He Muyun told Lin Yan meaningfully. Mom. That video was fake. We were just filming it for fun. It wasn't a fight, Lin Yan told He Muyun guiltily. Xiaoyan, regardless of whether it's real or fake, you have to be careful when you're outside. Be careful, okay? He Muyun told Lin Yan. Lin Yan nodded. Mom, I know. End of this chapter. Chapter 980. After leaving the hospital, Lin Yan drove to the Chinese Guild headquarters. The Chinese Guild headquarters was already packed with people. Most of them were outstanding racers from the Chinese teams, as well as some staff from foreign guilds. Miss Lin. Qi Feng stopped Lin Yan the moment she reached the headquarters. The headquarters are looking for you, right? Lin Yan nodded and replied, I've been bombarding them with calls these past few days. I was busy a few days ago, so I couldn't rush over to train. The higher-ups even threw a tantrum. You're the only one who hasn't come these days. Feng grinned. But it's fine. You're my navigator. You just need to get used to me. I've already explained to the headquarters. Without giving Lin Yan a chance to speak, Feng added, "Oh yeah, Miss Lin. Do you have a new show to air?" Feng handed his phone to Lin Yan, who was playing the trending video. Lin Yan was speechless. "Miss Lin, this movie is very good. This fight scene is too exciting. Let me tell you, I've been a martial arts fan since I was young. I especially like martial arts dramas. I've watched almost all martial arts dramas." Feng smiled at Lin Yan. The corners of Lin Yan's mouth twitched when she heard him. How could this be called a martial arts drama? Even if it was a drama, it could only be considered an urban fight scene. "Yeah, filming." Lin Yan chuckled softly. "Do you want to spoil it? I watched this video yesterday and I really liked it. The actor in the black robe is very skilled. He should be a famous action actor," said Feng. Lin Yan was speechless. After pondering for a moment, Lin Yan chuckled softly. "This is just a game that a few of us are filming. Actually, I have a friend who has a martial arts dream since he was young. In order to fulfill his dream, we used our phones to film it. I didn't expect someone to record it." "Really?" Feng's eyes lit up when he heard Lin Yan's explanation. "Really?" Lin Yan nodded repeatedly, almost swearing to the heavens. "Miss Lin, can I ask you for a favor?" Feng stared at Lin Yan nervously. "What is it?" Lin Yan asked curiously. "Can you let me join your team? I also have a martial arts dream. This video is really good. Can I participate?" Feng asked hastily. Lin Yan was stunned when she heard Feng's request. "Where am I going to find a team for him? I hope it's the original cast in the video. This time, we'll shoot for a longer time. At least half an hour. Ms. Lin is a professional actress. It should be very simple," Feng continued. Lin Yan was speechless. This was harder than ascending to the heavens. How was she going to find the black-robed man? However, Feng had helped her so much previously. When Su Kai targeted her, it was Feng who stood up and made her his navigator. That was why she could stay in the guild's new fleet. Hence, Lin Yan didn't know how to reject him. "Miss Lin, is there a problem?" Chapter 982. Wang Jingyang tilted his head and replied nonchalantly, "Why are you looking for me? I'm busy. It took me 2 weeks to reach this stage. If there's nothing else, I'm hanging up." "Pup, I have something to tell you." Lin Yan's voice came through the phone. "Hurry up and tell me." Wang Jingyang stuck out his tongue as he pressed the controller frantically. "The black-robed man. You don't need me to tell you. You should know what's going on." Wang Jingyang froze when he heard Lin Yan. On the screen, the character that Wang Jingyang was controlling had been killed by the monster. "Over, huh? The black-robed man? What black-robed man?" "I don't know. Why are you asking me?" Wang Jingyang replied sheepishly. "Pup, you don't know who the black-robed man is?" "I don't know. How would I know who the black-robed man is? What does it have to do with me?" "Really?" Wang Jingyang snapped back to his senses after some time. "Lin Yan. What do you mean? Wang Jingyang, why are you pretending? You know everything?" Wang Jingyang put the game controller aside and frowned deeply. Although Lin Yan had removed his black robe that night, she couldn't have seen his face. How could she have discovered his identity? "Xiaoyan, listen to me. Actually, it's not what you think." Wang Jingyang frowned as he spoke. "What nonsense are you talking about? Have you seen the video on the trending page?" "I know. I've seen it, but I didn't expect that there would be such a mistake. Wang Jingyang replied. It's good that you've seen it. Let me tell you, we were filming a movie that day. We were just having fun. Now that the black-robed man is no longer filming, you have to replace him. I will pay you. Wang Jingyang was speechless. Say something. Lin Yan, damn you. You gave me a fright. Wang Jingyang heaved a sigh of relief. He had really thought that he had been exposed. Gave you a fright? Oh, no. I mean, how much did you pay me? Lin Yan hung up after settling the matter with Wang Jingyang. This time, there was no problem. Wang Jingyang and the black-robed man's figure were not much different. When the time came, he would be wrapped in a black robe, and no one would be able to see anything. Before Lin Yan could mull over this, the meeting began. Lin Yan rushed into the meeting room. Miss Lin, how is it? Qi Feng sat beside Lin Yan and asked her softly. Lin Yan nodded and smiled at Qi Feng. Don't worry. It's all settled. It's definitely the same cast. You're the main character. Main character? Qi Feng was stunned for a moment before he smiled and said, I feel that I can just be a supporting role. I can't act well either. It's fine. I can teach you if you can't act well. Lin Yan grinned. Okay, Miss Lin. When the time comes, we can also post this video online, Qi Feng said. Sure. Lin Yan grinned. You pay, you pay. Don't talk about posting it online, you can even post it on the moon. Who is Lin Yan? At this moment, an old man from the guild swept his gaze across the conference table expressionlessly. I am. Lin Yan raised her hand and glanced at the old man. Member Lin Yan, you're really arrogant. The guild has looked for you several times, but you always have an excuse to reject them. Why are you here today? The old man glanced at Lin Yan with disdain. If he didn't let them see what a star's heirs were, it would really be a waste of them. You're simply lawless. Where do you think this is? You can come and go as you please. This seemed to be the first time old Liang had encountered such a situation. He was furious. There had never been a racer who had dared to leave his meeting. President Qi, there's still a gap between our strength and theirs. Just bear with it as much as you can. It'll be good for them to restrain themselves. We've been under a lot of pressure recently, especially with the rumors outside. You also know that this is the age of the internet. One of the higher-ups sighed. The difference in strength was too great. Other than enduring, there was no other way. End of chapter. Chapter 985. Sigh, a lot of netizens are talking about us on the internet. Previously, foreign racing teams kicked a few of our excellent racing teams. It was all recorded and uploaded to the internet. One of the higher-ups sighed heavily. There were more and more criticisms online. If this went on, it would be a huge blow to the country's racing association. If it had just been a clash between teams, it wouldn't have caused such a stir. However, it had escalated to a competition between countries, between Chinese teams and foreign teams. This year's international competition had been held in China. It had originally been a time for the Chinese teams to hold their heads up high, but in the end, they had been trampled on by foreign teams. Videos of foreign teams challenging them had even been uploaded online. Naturally, it had caused a huge uproar. President, take a look. One of the higher-ups handed his phone to President Qi. The video of our team being challenged has been uploaded online. It's the top trending topic now. Top trending topic? President Qi frowned. I remember someone telling me that it's Lin Yan. I think it's because of a new show. In the past, yes. However, When the video of him being challenged was released, Lin Yan's video was overtaken. President Qi was speechless. This is outrageous. Who posted this video online? President Qi said angrily. I'm not sure. It must have been posted by a passerby. President Qi's expression was ugly. He really wanted to teach those arrogant foreign teams a lesson. Unfortunately, they hadn't reached that level yet. Although they had formed a new team, they still needed time to get used to it. As he spoke, there was a knock on the door. Please come in, President Qi said. A second later, the man pushed the door open. Vice President Avis, please take a seat. After seeing the man, President Qi immediately put on a smile. This man was the vice president of a foreign racing association. He was also the one who had led the team to the country. President Qi, I think the Hua Nation's Racing Guild owes me an explanation. Avis said coldly as he glanced at the crowd. Hearing Avis's words, President Qi and the other guild executives looked baffled. Give him an explanation? What kind of explanation? The team he had brought had provoked the Chinese team. It was already good enough that they didn't ask him for an explanation. Yet they had to give him an explanation? Is there something wrong with your brain? Of course, this was what he thought, but he couldn't say it out loud. Vice President Avis, I don't think we understand what you mean. Is there a misunderstanding? President Qi asked. Misunderstanding? You're telling me it's a misunderstanding? Avis stared at President Qi and sneered. President Qi, don't you know what the Chinese guild has done? How dare you tell me it's a misunderstanding? Don't tell me you've forgotten the rules that every racing guild has to abide by. His expression was one of shock, and his eyes were filled with disbelief. Was Yeva the famous racetrack's Grim Reaper who had groomed Lang Mang, the racetrack butcher, and many other famous racers? End of chapter. Chapter 987. However, President Qi calmed down almost instantly. He felt that Avis's words were nonsense. Everyone knew that Lin Yan was an actress from the country. She had been a hot topic recently. How could she be the racetrack's Grim Reaper? Either Avis had mistaken her for someone else, or he was deliberately provoking them. Vice President Avis, we will investigate this matter. If everything is as you say, we will definitely give you an explanation. One of the executives chuckled. All right, I'll wait for your news. Don't play any tricks. Avis slammed the door and left. After Avis left, the expressions of the Chinese guild executives turned cold. Is there something wrong with his brain? He said that Lin Yan is Yeva. Are you trying to humiliate our racing guild? I think he is trying to humiliate us. President, isn't Qi Xiaoyuan close to Lin Yan? Why don't you call him? One of the executives glanced at President Qi. I don't think that's necessary. Do you really believe what Avis said? Of course I don't believe him. It's best if I ask him. President Qi immediately called Qi Xiaoyuan and asked him to come to his office. Qi Xiaoyuan pushed the door open and entered his office. Dad, I'm off today, so I came to see you. How's the preparation? Qi Xiaoyuan grinned at President Qi. However, Qi Xiaoyuan realized that his father's expression didn't look too good after he finished speaking. Qi Xiaoyuan, what's your relationship with Lin Yan? President Qi asked. Huh? Lin Yan? Qi Xiaoyuan was startled. He had no idea why his father would suddenly mention this. She's a good friend. Dad, you're an adult. Don't tell me you don't even have the right to make friends? Qi Xiaoyuan replied in surprise. His father had never interfered with his circle of friends. What was going on today? Xiaoyuan, here's the thing. Today, Vice President Avis came looking for trouble. He insisted that Lin Yan is the racetrack's Grim Reaper. The president is furious. He knows that you're close to Lin Yan, so he came to ask you. It's fine. Don't worry. F***ck. Qi Xiaoyuan was startled. Lin Yan was seen by the vice president of a foreign guild? Seeing that Qi Xiaoyuan's expression wasn't right, the higher-ups looked at each other. They had a feeling that Qi Xiaoyuan was hiding something from them. Dad, don't listen to Avis. Yeva is Chinese. Why should they ban her from the competition? Qi Xiaoyuan said anxiously. As soon as Qi Xiaoyuan said that, the expressions of the higher-ups present, including President Qi, changed. Xiaoyuan, what do you mean by that? Don't tell me that Lin Yan is really Yeva. One of the executives stepped forward and grabbed Qi Xiaoyuan's wrist. Uncle Li, be gentler. You're breaking my bones. Qi Xiaoyuan frowned. Alright, I'm sorry. Xiaoyuan, tell me the truth. What happened? Isn't Lin Yan an actress? Who is she? The senior asked anxiously. Qi Xiaoyuan sighed heavily. He had been discovered by a foreign guild and they had even come to question him. He couldn't hide it anymore. Dad. Uncle Li, boss didn't allow me to reveal her identity. I didn't mean to hide it from you. Can you turn a blind eye? Qi Xiaoyuan sounded guilty. Chapter 988. President Qi and the other executives exchanged glances. The newcomer racer of the He family team was Yeva? That meant that Vice President Avis wasn't lying. Xiaoyuan, you can't joke about this. Is that girl really the racetrack's Grim Reaper, Yeva? One of the higher-ups looked doubtful and incredulous. Yeah. Qi Xiaoyuan nodded. How could Qi Xiaoyuan dare to lie now? The vice president had come knocking on his door. Even if he didn't, he couldn't hide the fact that Lin Yan was Yeva. Hence, he decided to be honest and see if his father and the other executives would let him off the hook. They wouldn't ban boss for life. Xiaoyuan, I'm talking about Lang Mang and Butcher's coach. Are you sure you're talking about the same person? Uncle Li, it's really the same person. I'm not lying, Qi Xiaoyuan replied. They didn't seem to believe him. Xiaoyuan, how did you know that Miss Lin Yan is Yeva? President Qi frowned at Qi Xiaoyuan. Yeva rarely showed her face in public. Other than the senior management of the foreign racing associations, only her disciples had seen her face. I only found out about boss's identity by chance. Qi Xiaoyuan sighed heavily. Boss? What boss? I'm Yeva's hardcore fan. We call her boss, Qi Xiaoyuan explained. There was a generation gap. How can you prove Miss Lin Yan's identity? Asked one of the executives. Qi Xiaoyuan wasn't the only one who had said that Lin Yan was Yeva. Even the vice president had said the same thing. Although Lin Yan's identity wasn't far from the truth, they still found it strange and unrealistic. They needed concrete evidence to confirm Lin Yan's identity. Otherwise, they would have doubts. If I prove boss's identity, can you let her off the hook? If she can't continue racing, Qi Xiaoyuan sounded doubtful. Cut the crap. We will consider it. President Qi sounded impatient. Feeling helpless, Qi Xiaoyuan turned on the computer in his office and logged into their software. Boss's photo has been cancelled, so we can't check it. However, we can check her navigator's license, Qi Xiaoyuan explained softly as he keyed in Lin Yan's navigator code. When Lin Yan had been with the He family team, she had competed as He Lifeng's navigator. Qi Xiaoyuan had recognized her because of her navigator's license. When Lin Yan's photo and identity information appeared on the computer, President Qi and the higher-ups in the office stepped forward. A moment later, President Qi and the others looked at each other and saw disbelief and shock in each other's eyes. So, this new racer, Yeva, was indeed the legendary racer who had been nicknamed the racetrack's Grim Reaper. She had taught Lang Mang, Butcher, and many other racers. Oh my God, Uncle Li scrutinized Lin Yan's photo on the computer screen. After a long time, he finally confirmed that this was indeed a person. There was no mistake about it. Ha ha ha. Nothing is too strange in this world. I really have to hand it to you. Chapter 989. Before long, the higher-ups in the office burst out laughing. Qi Xiaoyuan stood rooted to the ground as he stared at them in confusion. He had no idea what they were laughing about. Uncles. Dad. Can you turn a blind eye to this? Pretend that you don't know boss's identity. Qi Xiaoyuan muttered softly. Xiaoyuan, give me Lin Yan's contact number. One of the higher-ups chuckled. Qi Xiaoyuan had no choice but to hand over Lin Yan's number. The higher-up dialed Lin Yan's number. Seconds later, Lin Yan picked up. Hello, is this Miss Lin? Yes, it's me. Who is this? Lin Yan's voice rang out. Miss Lin, sorry to disturb you. Let me introduce myself. I'm from the Chinese Guild. I'm in charge of the new team. President and I would like to treat you to a meal, the guild. I'm very busy now. Please call my manager. Make an appointment first. Huh? The higher-ups of the guild were puzzled. Before they could say anything, they heard the beeping tone. Lin Yan had hung up. The higher-ups were speechless. Why do I need to make an appointment? I'm not looking for her to film a movie. The old man looked puzzled. He had no idea what had happened. Xiaoyuan, give Miss Lin a call. Make a reservation for the meal, President Qi suddenly said to his son. Yes. Me? Qi Xiaoyuan scratched his head. Does boss know that I betrayed her? How can I have a good ending? Dad, don't screw your son over. Cut the crap. President Qi glared at Qi Xiaoyuan. Vice President Avis has already come knocking on our door. Do you think you can hide this? Even if you don't say anything, can't we find out? Qi Xiaoyuan was speechless. That seemed to make sense, but he felt that something was amiss. Under the pressure of his father, Qi Xiaoyuan could only bite the bullet and call Lin Yan. Boss, are you free? Yes, what's up? Nothing much. I want to have a meal with you. You're treating? Yeah, it's my treat. Send me the location. After hanging up, Qi Xiaoyuan replied, I've already made an appointment. President Qi looked at one of the higher-ups. Go and make the arrangements. I want the largest one and give it the same treatment as the foreign presidents. All right, I understand. In the evening, Lin Yan followed the address that Qi Xiaoyuan had given her and arrived at her destination. Lin Yan couldn't help but click her tongue when she saw the luxurious hotel. What was wrong with Qi Xiaoyuan? Why did he have to spend so much money to treat her to a meal? She entered the hotel and informed the receptionist of the room number before she was led to the door. Lin Yan was taken aback when she pushed the door open. He saw a group of unfamiliar faces sitting in the private room. They were all middle-aged and elderly uncles. I'm sorry, I went the wrong way. Lin Yan was about to leave when Qi Xiaoyuan sprang to his feet. Boss, you're right. Lin Yan was startled when she saw Qi Xiaoyuan. She entered the room with a puzzled expression. Maybe you'll like it, the vice president said with a smile. Lin Yan instinctively opened the box. The dazzling light almost blinded her eyes. Inside the gift box were kittens and puppies made of glass. They looked lifelike and very cute. The glass cat and dog are quite cute. Lin Yan grinned. Chapter 991. Vice President Li replied awkwardly, Miss Lin, they aren't made of glass. Aren't they? Lin Yan studied them carefully. They are made of diamonds, replied Vice President Li. Lin Yan's hands trembled when she heard Vice President Li. She almost dropped the diamond cat and diamond dog. Diamonds? Diamonds. Lin Yan's face fell as she pushed the diamond kitten away hastily. No, no, this is too expensive. I can't accept it. Only Miss Lin deserves them. You single-handedly founded Angel's Shelter, and we admire you for that. Take these as a token of our appreciation. Treat it as dog food for the homeless. How does that sound? Vice President Li grinned at her. Lin Yan pondered for a moment. If that was the case, she could accept it. However, she realized that something wasn't right. How could she accept it? Why did this sound like a betrothal gift? Qi Xiaoyuan had invited her to a place like this, brought his father, and given her such an expensive diamond puppy. Could this fellow be? Lin Yan's eyes trailed to Qi Xiaoyuan. Qi Xiaoyuan's face reddened the moment he met Lin Yan's eyes. He turned his head away, looking rather conflicted. F***ck, Lin Yan was even more certain of her guess when she saw Qi Xiaoyuan's expression. Lin Yan had never imagined that Qi Xiaoyuan would expose her identity. Uncle, I think there might be a misunderstanding. Lin Yan pondered this for a moment before she spoke to President Qi. Misunderstanding? Of course there isn't a misunderstanding. President Qi grinned. Uncle, Xiaoyuan is indeed outstanding. He should find a good girlfriend. Lin Yan replied awkwardly. President Qi sneered coldly. How could he be outstanding? Why would he need a girlfriend? He is a pit of fire. Which girl would be blind enough to jump into it? Dad. You. The corners of Qi Xiaoyuan's mouth twitched as he glanced at his father. How could he talk about his son like that? However, the best thing about Xiaoyuan is that he got to know you, Miss Lin. President Qi added with a chuckle. Lin Yan was speechless. Uncle, I have a boyfriend, replied Lin Yan. Boyfriend? President Qi was startled. What's wrong with that? Lin Yan was speechless. Before President Qi could say anything else, Vice President Li seemed to have realized something. He walked to President Qi's side and whispered something. President Qi immediately came to a realization and hurriedly said, I'm afraid Miss Lin has misunderstood. We didn't invite Miss Lin here to propose marriage. No wonder there was something wrong with the previous conversation. Miss Lin, you really think too much. How could Xiaoyuan be worthy of you, Miss Lin? Vice Chairman Li also said quickly. Qi Xiaoyuan was speechless. He just couldn't understand what he had done. Why did he have to step on him like that? Miss Lin, in that case, let's get straight to the point. We hope that you will join our racing guild. This time, we will be relying on you, said Vice President Li. Boss, I dropped it. Qi Xiaoyuan interrupted her awkwardly. I dropped my disguise. Lin Yan was speechless. There seemed to be no need to continue pretending. What are you talking about? The racing association in the country is your home, Madame Yenv. You've contributed so much to the foreign racing associations. It's time for you to go home. Vice President Li grinned. Yeah, boss. Let's bring Lang Mang and Butcher back. We'll destroy the foreign racing associations. Who asked them to be so despicable? Qi Xiaoyuan exclaimed excitedly. End of this chapter. Chapter 993. Before Lin Yan could respond, President Qi glanced at Qi Xiaoyuan with a frown. Shut your mouth. Qi Xiaoyuan was taken aback when he heard that. He asked in confusion, Dad, did I say something wrong? Why are you interrupting when the adults are talking? Can food shut your mouth? If you can't, scram. President Qi bellowed. Qi Xiaoyuan was speechless. Was he really his biological son? His parents had told him that he had been picked up from a trash can. Was that true? He had even said that children shouldn't interrupt when the adults were talking. Boss was about the same age as him. If he had the ability, he should have told Boss to shut up too. Madam Yeva, don't be so serious. We have no intention of letting your apprentices come to China. Madam Yeva is on your side, President Qi told Lin Yan earnestly. Let me think about it, replied Lin Yan. Hearing this, President Qi and the other executives looked at each other. Madam Yeva is Chinese. The racing guild is your home. Shouldn't you return home if you have suffered outside? What else is there to consider? Vice President Li replied. Lin Yan glanced at Vice President Li. That was true, but, Vice President, I have already been banned from competing. Even if I agree, you can't violate the rules of the various racing guilds. Lin Yan was puzzled. Miss Yeva, we will handle this matter. You don't have to worry, Vice President Li replied confidently. If Yev hadn't been Chinese, they wouldn't have had the right to speak. However, the situation was different now. What right did you have to ban our top racer? What kind of joke was this? Did they think that the racing guild was just a decoration? How dare they bully them? I can agree, but I have a condition, Lin Yan said after some thought. Madam Yeva, please speak, President Qi replied. Firstly, I don't want my identity to be exposed. Replied Lin Yan. That's for sure. We know your bottom line, Madam Yeva. We will respect you. President Qi nodded and glanced at Qi Xiaoyuan. Did you hear that? Madam Yeva's identity cannot be revealed. Otherwise, you will be held responsible. Qi Xiaoyuan, who was stuffing his mouth with food, was startled. Who was the one who had coerced and bribed him into revealing Boss's identity? Not only did he not see any benefits, he had to take all the blame. Dad, I might as well change my name to Qi Xiaogua, Qi Xiaoyuan said thoughtfully. However, no one paid attention to Qi Xiaoyuan. Secondly, I hope to have my own team instead of a guild. I have a new team called Aurora, but no racers are willing to join. Lin Yan added. He would be a fool not to take the opportunity to expand his fleet. Hearing this, Vice President Li asked doubtfully, is the Aurora team established in China? Is it a Chinese racing team? Yeah. Lin Yan nodded. Alright, then no problem. Ms. Yenv, you can freely assign racers to Team Aurora. We will grant you such authority. You can choose any of the outstanding racers in the guild. Vice President Li smiled. As long as it was a Chinese team, it wouldn't be a problem at all. That's all for now. The main thing is to see how you explain it to Avis. After all, I'm banned forever, replied Lin Yan. End of chapter. Chapter 994. Miss Lin Yan, you don't have to worry about this. We will negotiate with them. However, can you lend us your identification card? Asked Vice President Li. Lin Yan didn't think much of it as she handed her identification card to Vice President Li. Sure. Welcome to our family, boss. One of the executives smiled at Lin Yan. Boss? Lin Yan's expression turned strange. The executive was puzzled. Is there something wrong? I heard from Xiao Yuan that Madame Yeva's fans call you boss. I'm a fan too. Lin Yan was speechless. Something was amiss. You'd better keep this gift. It's too expensive. Lin Yan glanced at the cat and dog that were made of diamonds as she spoke. Madame Yeva, just like I said, this isn't a gift for you. We are sponsoring Angel's Shelter. It's a token of our appreciation for the stray pets. Vice President Li grinned. Lin Yan pondered this for a moment before she nodded. All right. In that case, I will thank the racing team on behalf of the stray pets. She had to admit that the racing team knew how to conduct themselves. The older they were, the wiser they were. Every word they said was flawless. After dinner, Lin Yan had gotten a designated driver to drive her back. The next day, in the office of the racing team headquarters, it was the same executives from yesterday's dinner. President, Vice President Avis is here. A staff member knocked on the door and greeted President Qi. President Qi nodded. Bring Vice President Avis in. A moment later, Vice President Avis walked into the office. Please take a seat. President Qi stood up and gestured to Avis. Avis sat down with a straight face. He crossed his legs and stared at President Qi. President Qi, how's the investigation going? President Qi smiled. Vice President Avis, the investigation is almost done. However, I'm curious about something. Madame Yeva was banned for life because she had taken stimulants, right? What do you mean? Avis glanced at President Qi. Although this matter wasn't announced to the public, the executives of every country's racing teams should be aware of it. Is there a need to repeat the investigation? As long as a race was banned by a racing guild, any racing guild in any country would have to abide by it. This was a long-standing agreement. I'm just curious. This is the first time a racer has been banned for taking stimulants, especially a racer of Yeva's caliber. President Qi grinned. President Qi is right. If a racer takes stimulants to compete on the track, it's either suicide or mutual destruction. Even a 3-year-old child would understand this. Vice President Li chuckled. Is this why your country's racing team didn't dare to announce that Yeva has been banned for life? Avis frowned deeply and glanced at President Qi impatiently. What do you mean? Why did we ban Yeva? It has nothing to do with you. You have no right to ask. You just have to follow the rules. Indeed. Of course, we have no right to ask. We're just casually mentioning it. One of the higher-ups nodded. I don't care about anything else. Yeva can't compete in this country, said Avis. Yeva? Vice President Li was taken aback. Where did Yeva come from? There's no Yeva in this country. End of this chapter. Chapter 995. Avis slammed the table and leaped to his feet. What nonsense are you talking about? I've already told you that the lady yesterday was Yeva. Are you trying to play tricks on me? Vice President Avis, why are you so angry? Vice President Li chuckled softly and tried to comfort Avis. Vice President Avis, you're being unreasonable. That lady yesterday is Chinese. How can you say that she's Yeva? Don't worry. If she were Yeva, we would never allow her to compete. President Qi chuckled softly. She is. Avis replied. No. She's not. She's Chinese. Her name is Lin Yan, and she's part of the racing team. She's also a famous actress. Everyone knows that, Vice President Li replied. I understand what you're trying to say. Are you trying to trick me? Are you trying to recruit Yeva into the racing team? Avis hissed coldly. Ha ha ha. Vice President Avis, why are you being so direct? Isn't it good for everyone to give each other a way out? If we fall out with each other, it won't benefit anyone. Oh, no. You guys are the ones who won't benefit the most. Vice President Li grinned thoughtfully. If the public finds out that Yeva was banned from the competition because you guys accused her of using stimulants. TSK. I can't imagine what kind of public opinion it would cause. I remember that Yeva has fans all over the world. Hearing this, Elvis's face instantly flushed red, and his eyes were filled with anger. Also, like I said, that Miss Lin is Chinese. She is a legal resident of China and has an ID card. Vice President Li tossed Lin Yan's identification card on the table. Vice President Avis, is her name Lin Yan or Yeva on this identification card? Are you trying to ban an outstanding racer from competing for the rest of her life? This is a provocation. You can't stand on this ground. Vice President Avis gritted his teeth and clenched his fists tightly. You are twisting words and forcing logic. The higher-ups in the office exchanged glances and couldn't help but chuckle. They were indeed twisting words and forcing logic. So what? Yeva was a Chinese citizen, so she belonged to the racing team. She was one of the top fighters in the country. Besides, wasn't Lin Yan's name written on the ID card? They had used Lin Yan, not Yeva. They could ban Yeva for life, but they wouldn't allow Lin Yan to be banned. Even if they shed all pretense of cordiality, they were not afraid that public opinion would stand on their side. How dare he fight them head-on without any preparation? They had underestimated the Chinese Racing Guild. Watching Avis leave angrily, President Qi, Vice President Li, and the other upper echelons burst out laughing. The resentment he had been suppressing in his heart could finally be vented today. Madam Yeva. No, Miss Lin, please come out. He has left, one of the higher-ups said. Lin Yan strode out. Lin Yan gave everyone a thumbs up. That was King powerful. As she had said yesterday, these people were really flawless. She had to admit that the older they were, the wiser they were. She had finally seen it for herself today. Miss Lin, don't worry. They wouldn't dare to fall out with you. Vice President Li sneered coldly. That would only harm them. End of this chapter. Chapter 996. It was common for racing guilds to compete with each other. As a racer, Lin Yan knew a thing or two about it. Since the racing guild had said that it was fine, it had to be fine. Miss Lin, I'll head to the conference room first. You can wait for half an hour, said Vice President Li. Lin Yan nodded. Okay. Lin Yan pushed open the door of the conference room. At this moment, Vice President Li was in the conference room. Many outstanding Chinese professional racers were seated below him. Old Liang, Su Kai, and the others were among them. Lin Yan, who asked you to come? Can't you see that we are having a meeting? Old Liang was enraged when he saw that Lin Yan had barged in uninvited. He bellowed coldly at Lin Yan. Lin Yan shrugged and glanced at Vice President Li. Su Kai, on the other hand, looked as though she was watching a good show. Liang Ming, why are you shouting? Vice President Li glanced at old Liang with a frown. Vice President, I have already kicked Lin Yan out of the team. She is lawless. Such a person is simply rat***t, old Liang told Vice President Li. Vice President Li glanced at old Liang expressionlessly and said impatiently, I invited Miss Lin Yan. Is there a problem? Everyone was stunned when they heard old Liang's words. What? The Vice President invited her? Old Liang stared at the Vice President in astonishment. How could that be possible? The Vice President had invited Lin Yan? Old Liang, you're a member of China's Racing Guild, and your words and actions represent the guild. Why don't you apply such a description to yourself when you call others rat***t? Vice President Li stared at old Liang and said coldly. Vice President. This is, old Liang glanced at Vice President Li in disbelief. What are you talking about? Apologize to Miss Lin, Vice President Li said. The conference room was in an uproar. Everyone thought that they had heard wrongly. The vice president of the racing guild had asked old Liang to apologize to Lin Yan. He had done it in front of so many people. He hadn't shown old Liang any mercy. Vice President, are you saying that I should apologize to her? Old Liang asked in disbelief. Yes, you didn't hear wrongly. Apologize to Miss Lin. Vice President Li stared at old Liang and said. Vice Guild Leader, you aren't joking, right? Elder Liang could not understand the Vice Guild Leader's actions. Do you think I'm joking with you? Vice President Li said indifferently. Elder Liang, even though he wasn't sure what was going on, Vice President Li's expression didn't seem like he was joking. After hesitating for some time, old Liang gritted his teeth and glanced at Lin Yan. Lin Yan, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that to you. I hope you can forgive me. Vice President Li grinned at Lin Yan. Miss Lin Yan, old Liang has a fiery temper, but he doesn't mean anything bad. Vice President Li had already given her face, so she couldn't say anything else. It's fine. Chapter 997. Head Captain. Everyone stared at Lin Yan in disbelief. Had they heard wrongly? A newbie like Lin Yan would be the head captain of a team under the guild? Vice President, is there a mistake? Su Kai suddenly stood up and glanced at Vice President Li. Vice President Li glanced at Su Kai and chuckled softly. There's no mistake. The President appointed her personally. The President appointed her personally? Su Kai was astonished. How could she know what had happened? Even Chi Feng was surprised. He couldn't understand the guild's actions. Just yesterday, Lin Yan had been his navigator. However, today, she had become the head captain of all the teams under the Chinese Racing Guild. This kind of thing could be said to be unprecedented. There was no captain position in the team under the guild. Generally speaking, the higher-ups of the guild would be in charge of it. Even the most experienced racers in the country didn't have the right to do so, let alone a newbie like Lin Yan. Su Kai's eyes were fixed on Lin Yan as she pondered this. Su Kai wasn't stupid. She naturally knew that things weren't that simple. Lin Yan had to be related to the guild. Otherwise, this wouldn't have happened. Oh yeah, besides our team, Miss Lin Yan's Aurora team will also be participating in the international competition, added Vice President Li. Aurora team? Everyone was baffled, as though they had never heard of such a team before. Team Aurora. I think I saw on a racing website that the Aurora racing team is hiring racers. It's a newly established team, and they haven't even found a racer yet. Vice President Li, is this the Aurora racing team you're talking about? One of the racers asked, looking at Vice President Li in astonishment. Vice President Li's eyes trailed to Lin Yan. Lin Yan nodded gently. Vice President Li grinned. Yes. Although Aurora is a newly established team, I believe that with the hard work of Miss Lin Yan and the Chinese Racing Guild, Aurora will definitely have a bright future. All the racers were speechless. Whether they had great prospects or not, it did not seem to have anything to do with them. In any case, they had nothing to do with the Aurora battle team. The Aurora team is a new team, so we don't have any racers yet. In order to ensure that the Aurora team can enter the international competition stage and shine, the guild has decided that head captain Lin Yan will be able to pick any racers from the top 3 teams. She will be able to join the Aurora team. Vice President Li grinned. As soon as Vice President Li's words fell, the audience went into an uproar. What kind of joke was this? Asking them to go to a newly established beginner team, and it was even established by a newcomer. I object. Objection overruled. It's the President's decision. Vice President Li waved his hand. Chief Captain Lin Yan, you can choose some first. The racers from the other 2 teams will be here tomorrow. You can challenge them as you wish. replied Vice President Li. Lin Yan scanned the crowd and her eyes landed on Qi Feng. She grinned. Mr. Qi Feng, are you interested? Qi Feng was speechless. What could he say? Anything. Qi Feng smiled awkwardly after pondering for a moment. Chapter 998. Other than Qi Feng, Lin Yan had also chosen 2 outstanding racers. However, the 2 racers didn't look very willing. They had no choice but to agree because of the pressure from the guild. The racers who hadn't been chosen by Lin Yan heaved a sigh of relief. They were glad that Lin Yan hadn't chosen them. After leaving the guild, Lin Yan returned to Cloud Manor. Lin Yan called Ling Yu and Xing Chen to her room. Miss Lin, how can I not act? I'm not an actor. I don't know how to act. Xing Chen said immediately when he saw Lin Yan. No way. I've already promised them and received a deposit. How can I go back on my word? Just do me a favor and I'll pay you. What do you think? Lin Yan glanced at Xing Chen. Xing Chen was speechless. Was he that desperate for money? Xing Chen, Sister Yan saved our lives. It's okay if you do us a favor, Ling Yu told Xing Chen. Sigh. All right then, but let me say this first. I really don't know how to act. I can only perform on the spot. Don't blame me if I don't perform well, replied Xing Chen. Lin Yan chuckled softly. Don't worry. The client isn't a professional. You can just act. They aren't asking you to shoot a movie. Before Lin Yan could respond, Pei Yucheng sent her a video call. Xing Chen and Ling Yu looked at each other. Then, Xing Chen said, Miss Lin, we'll take our leave first. You can arrange how you want to act. After that, Ling Yu and Xing Chen left together. Lin Yan picked up the video call. On the screen, Pei Yucheng was dressed in a nightgown and holding a book. Why did you think of me? Lin Yan glanced at Pei Yucheng. Pei Yucheng hadn't contacted her in the past few days, so she was surprised to see him tonight. Pei Yucheng's eyes landed on Lin Yan as he replied softly, I just finished some work with the clan. When are you coming back? Asked Lin Yan. I'll be back soon, replied Pei Yucheng. Lin Yan was about to continue when Pei Yucheng interrupted her. You're trending. Lin Yan was speechless. Pei Yucheng had been busy these past few days, so they hadn't contacted each other. Hence, Lin Yan hadn't told him about what had happened that night. About Qin Huan, Lin Yan replied softly. Before she could finish, Pei Yucheng interjected softly, I deliberately kept Qin Huan by my side. On purpose? Lin Yan was startled. Yeah. Pei Yucheng nodded. It's a pity that we haven't been able to find the person behind him. It's the man in the black robe. I almost saw his face. What a pity. Lin Yan sighed heavily. Don't do that next time. It's dangerous, Pei Yucheng said after a moment of silence. At first, I also felt that it was very dangerous, but after I took action, I realized that it was not dangerous at all, Lin Yan grinned. What do you think of the black-robed man? It's rare, Pei Yucheng replied honestly. If you were to fight him, who would be stronger? Lin Yan was curious. You can't compare them. Pei Yucheng grinned. Can't be compared? Why? Wang Jingyang thought for a moment and smiled. That level isn't easy, I have to concentrate. Sai, let's not talk about this, why are you looking for me? I'm here to talk to you about the scene. Lin Yan went straight to the point. What scene? Wang Jingyang was confused. End of this chapter. Chapter 1001. Lin Yan glanced at Wang Jingyang with a frown. Didn't I tell you to act as the black-robed man? It was the video that went viral. Huh? The black-robed man? Wang Jingyang glanced at Lin Yan awkwardly. Why would I act as the black-robed man? I don't know how to act. Aren't you afraid that I'll mess it up? It's fine. Lin Yan chuckled softly. The client has low requirements. I just need to act. Wang Jingyang sighed heavily. Lin Yan always had weird requests, and he really wanted to reject her. Can I? Wang Jingyang looked serious. No. Lin Yan shook her head. Let's eat first. Take me to buy clothes after lunch. Wang Jingyang sighed helplessly. What clothes? Lin Yan was puzzled. You want me to act as the black-robed man? You have to buy me a black robe, replied Wang Jingyang. Lin Yan grinned. I can satisfy your request. We can go buy clothes after lunch. Let's go. I'll treat you to a feast. Wang Jingyang shook his head. Why didn't you say so earlier? I've already cooked. Oh, let's eat at your place then. Lin Yan grinned. Wang Jingyang was speechless. In the living room, Lin Yan couldn't help but drool as she watched Wang Jingyang serve the dishes. Even the simplest dishes looked, smelled, and tasted great. F***ck. Doggy, did you cook this? Lin Yan glanced at Wang Jingyang in surprise. Wang Jingyang, who was startled, instinctively scanned the room. Other than me. Is there anyone else? When did you learn to cook? I used to cook for you. I remember that you didn't even know how to cook, Lin Yan quipped curiously. You used to cook, but now that you're gone, I have to learn to cook. It's easy. Let's eat. Wang Jingyang fell silent for a moment before he glanced at Lin Yan. Lin Yan felt as though her taste buds were about to explode after just one bite. Oh my god. Doggy, this is so delicious. Lin Yan stared at Wang Jingyang in disbelief. If these simple home-cooked dishes could be made into such a delicacy, she was willing to call Wang Jingyang the god of cookery. Wang Jingyang sneered coldly. Keep a low profile. It's all because of your talent. Lin Yan was speechless. Eat more. Look at you. You've lost weight. Wang Jingyang continued smiling. Lin Yan placed her bowl and chopsticks aside after finishing her meal. Wang Jingyang stared at Lin Yan in confusion. He hadn't eaten yet. Eat. Why are you staring at me? Asked Lin Yan. Wang Jingyang frowned and looked at the empty plates. He pointed at one of the empty plates and asked, Hey, what dish is this? Scrambled eggs with tomatoes. Lin Yan grinned. Wang Jingyang nodded. Oh, if you didn't tell me, I would have thought it was fried air. But, where are the tomatoes and eggs? Lin Yan chuckled awkwardly. She seemed to have devoured everything. What dish is this? Wang Jingyang pointed at the other plate. Potato and green peppers with shredded pork, replied Lin Yan instinctively. The wind carried him on the longest journey, followed the sunset glow all the way without stopping, embraced the warm starlight and kissed the most beautiful flowers in the night, wandered willfully. Did he still remember his hometown? Life shuttled back and forth in the corner of time. He looked at the people who loved and hated in silence. Drifted with time, she forgot to live and remembered. He left her memories and lived again and again. End of this chapter. It's an honor to meet a few professional actors. Hearing this, Xing Chen and the others were stunned. Professional actors? Professional actors are expensive. Lin Yan whispered to Xing Chen and Ling Yu. Yeah, we are all professional actors. Alright, let's start filming. Xing Chen nodded. Hello, the scene where you were beaten up was really good. It was as though you had been beaten up badly. I remember that you were seriously injured and almost killed. Qi Feng grinned. End of this chapter. Chapter 1004. Xing Chen stared at Qi Feng with an unfriendly expression on his face. Everyone should know how to film it. It's a replay of the video. The black-robed man severely injured Xing Chen and Ling Yu. Qi Feng stepped in to stop the fight and successfully chased the black-robed man away, said Lin Yan. Got it, got it. Hurry up, Wang Jingyang said reluctantly. Miss Lin, what about you? Qi Feng glanced at Lin Yan. I'm in charge of filming. I'm a professional. Lin Yan grinned. Has it started yet? I'm waiting to go home and play games. Wang Jingyang replied impatiently. Alright, let's begin. Lin Yan whipped out her phone and started recording. B** starred, die. The black-robed man bellowed at Xing Chen. Bring it on. I'm not afraid of you. Xing Chen bellowed. Lin Yan was speechless. Wasn't he being too exaggerated? I'm going to take your life. Wang Jingyang walked over to Xing Chen and punched him. Bang! A second later, Xing Chen instinctively raised his leg and sent Wang Jingyang flying. Lin Yan stared at Xing Chen in shock. Sorry. It was an instinctive reaction. Brother, are you alright? Xing Chen suddenly realized something and hurried to Wang Jingyang's side. F***CKU. Aren't we filming? Are you serious? Wang Jingyang yelled as Xing Chen helped him up. I'm not serious. If I were, you would have been kicked to death by me, Xing Chen replied awkwardly. I've been kicked to death by you? Are you bragging? Come on, kick me to death. Let's see, said Wang Jingyang. Can you be more professional? Lin Yan frowned as she walked forward. Can't we act the same as last time? After being lectured by Lin Yan, Wang Jingyang sighed. Alright, I got it. Oh, it was a mistake. This time, I promised to follow the script. Xing Chen nodded. Lin Yan returned to her seat and raised her phone. Be serious. Let's begin. Who are you? Xing Chen glared at Wang Jingyang and asked coldly. Kid, don't ask too many questions, Wang Jingyang replied calmly. You must have a death wish. Xing Chen was enraged as he charged at Wang Jingyang. Wang Jingyang waved his hand casually. A split second later, Xing Chen collapsed to the ground in an exaggerated fashion. He bit down on the chicken blood pouch in his mouth, causing blood to flow out from the corner of his lips, so strong. Impossible. Wang Jingyang was speechless. He felt that he had been greatly insulted and couldn't act anymore. How dare you beat Xing Chen up like this? At this moment, Ling Yu rushed out and glared at Wang Jingyang. She took a step forward and rushed towards Wang Jingyang with extreme speed. Wang Jingyang was speechless. Wang Jingyang was speechless. Wang Jingyang was speechless. Wang's Feng Wang, Wang Chen said. Feng Wang, Xing Ling Chen and Tian. Feng and said, Ling Chen, to the King Ling, Xing, Chen and Xing, King Feng, Yu, Xing, Feng, Chen, Wang Yan the Chen Wang Feng. Chapter 1005. As the laughter rang out, Lin Yan and the others looked around in confusion. A few seconds later, a dozen or so people walked out from nearby. Qi Feng stared at the people who had suddenly appeared and glanced at Lin Yan in confusion. What kind of show was this? She didn't remember so many people, right? I didn't expect that we would be able to wait. A young man with a buzz cut sneered coldly. Who are you? Lin Yan frowned. Evolved beings. Evolved beings? Lin Yan was startled when she heard that. What kind of show was this? How could an evolved being appear in a video? Guys, you guys have been very popular recently. The Hunters Guild really hates you guys. The fight between evolved beings was recorded by ordinary people and uploaded to the internet. It has disrupted the evaluation of the evolved beings in the capital. Who are you? How dare you hurt my friend? Qi Feng suddenly stood up. I won't let you succeed. Hearing this, all the evolvers present were stunned. Where did this fool come from? Scram. It has nothing to do with you. In that case, there's no need to waste your breath. Attack. Qi Feng said coldly. Lin Yan was speechless. This wasn't a movie. Couldn't he tell? Qi Feng charged at one of them, raised his palm, and slashed the neck of an evolved being. After a few seconds, Qi Feng whispered, "Brother, you should fall." An evolved being was speechless. Qi Feng immediately raised his palm and gave him another palm strike. "Brother, fall. You have a death wish." The evolved being, who had been slashed twice by Qi Feng, bellowed coldly and threw a punch. A huge force struck, and the force of the fist brought with it a howling gust of wind. At that moment, Qi Feng realized that something was wrong. In an instant, Qi Feng tapped the ground with his toes and retreated. He was agile and easily dodged the attack. Lin Yan stared at Qi Feng in astonishment. Had this fellow flown just now? However, Lin Yan didn't have time to think about it. She hurriedly told Xing Chen and Ling Yu, "The Hunters Guild is here to cause trouble. Beat them up." Huh? Not acting anymore? Xing Chen wiped the chicken blood from the corner of his mouth and stood up. "Why are you acting?" "Someone is looking for trouble," replied Lin Yan. Immediately, Xing Chen looked at the dozens of evolvers and furrowed his brows. These people who had unintentionally released the power of evolution were definitely not ordinary evolvers. Even if he joined forces with Ling Yu, they would not have any chance of winning. It was impossible for these people to be from the Hunters Guild. They should be desperados among evolved people who would not abide by any rules of evolved people. "Everyone, we are from the Pei clan. Please give us some face and leave," Xing Chen said after a while. "Pei family?" Hearing this, a small portion of the evolvers looked at each other. "Which Pei family?" one of the evolvers asked. "Cloud Manor," Xing Chen replied. Chapter 1006. If they had to deal with a few people, it wouldn't be a problem. However, there were so many people. They couldn't beat them. Instinctively, Lin Yan pulled Wang Jingyang and ran to the back. "Are you not going to care about me?" Qi Feng was also extremely fast as he followed Lin Yan closely. "Qi Feng, are you also an evolved being?" Lin Yan glanced at Qi Feng. Now isn't the time to talk about this." Qi Feng smiled awkwardly. Lin Yan was speechless. If she had known that this job would be so dangerous, she wouldn't have accepted it. There were dozens of evolved beings behind them. Other than physical evolved beings, there were also quite a number of evolved beings with brains. How could they let Lin Yan and the others leave so easily? In a few minutes, Lin Yan, Xing Chen, and the others were surrounded. That's not right. Suddenly, Lin Yan realized something and frowned. Why should I run? Why should I be afraid of them? Even the black-robed man isn't my match. How can these stinky fish and prawns do? Wang Jingyang was speechless. That's right. Xing Chen's eyes flickered. Sister Yen, teach these arrogant fools a lesson. I advise you to go back to where you came from. Otherwise, don't blame me for being ruthless. Lin Yen glanced at the evolved beings around her and said coldly. Hearing this, more than 10 evolvers suddenly laughed. One of them said, "Do you really think you're that strong? Miss Lin, this piece of trash looks down on you." Xing Chen glanced at Lin Yen. Ling Yu frowned. Sister Yen, I don't know what you're thinking, but if it were me, I would definitely let them know what cruelty is. Lin Yen was speechless. Xing Chen and Ling Yu were singing the same tune. Were they trying to stir up trouble? We only want this woman's fate. As for the others, they can leave if they want. However, if they want to protect her, they will die here tonight. You guys sure have big words. Lin Yen hissed coldly. A woman in her early 30s sneered. We'll only know if it's a provocation after we try. The woman leaped and appeared beside Lin Yen. The power of an evolved being surged as she tried to kill Lin Yen with a single blow. Instinctively, Lin Yen threw a punch at him. Wang Jingyang stood behind Lin Yen, so no one could see him. However, his fingers, which were hidden in his black robe, twitched slightly. Wow! In the blink of an eye, the woman fell heavily to the ground and spat out a mouthful of blood. The woman's face was as white as a sheet as she stared at Lin Yen in shock. F***ck me, Xing Chen and Ling Yu looked at each other. This was too terrifying. Previously, they had doubted whether Lin Yen was powerful. However, it seemed like she was indeed powerful. Did that mean that Lin Yen had relied on her own abilities to defeat the black-robed man that night? Lin Yen gazed at the woman who had fallen to the ground. Her face was brimming with confidence. Again? Let's attack together. This woman isn't simple either. Don't hold back and kill her directly. One of the evolvers shouted. Immediately, more than 10 evolvers charged over together, while a few other evolvers with brains displayed their evolved abilities from behind. However, Lin Yen wasn't the slightest bit afraid of these people. A cold glint appeared in Wang Jingyang's eyes. In a split second, an indescribable pressure of an evolved being surged in all directions. A second later, both the evolved beings with brains and the evolved beings who were close to Lin Yen felt as though they had been struck by lightning. As though they had discussed it beforehand, they fell to the ground at the same time and fainted. End of this chapter. Sibai had been beaten up badly by her last time. I told you a long time ago that you got the wrong person. If you continue to pester me, don't blame me for being rude, Lin Yen told Sibai. The first thing that appeared in his mind was a pack of ferocious wolves. The little girl hid behind the adults and stuck her head out. She curiously sized up the boy with long hair wrapped in animal skin who stood in the middle of the wolf pack. There was no human emotion in the boy's eyes, only the ferocity of a wild beast. This kind of fierceness made the girl feel fear, and she didn't dare to get close. However, she was still very curious. This was the first time the girl, who had never seen the outside world, was curious. Chapter 1009. She had been living a secluded life in the Mu family. The little girl had never had any contact with outsiders. Her life seemed to repeat itself every day. Every day, she would read, write, draw, and train. This was the first time the little girl had left the huge Mu family. Everything was new to her. The little boy standing among the wolves with a fierce look in his eyes was the first outsider she met after leaving the Mu family with her parents. The little girl saw many servants chasing and beating the wolves. The little boy's movements were no different from those of the wolves. He resisted with all his might, but he was also beaten and kicked by the servants. How could an ordinary person be compared to an evolved person, let alone a little boy? Mother, the little girl couldn't bear it. She looked at the beautiful woman beside her. Little Yen, be a good girl. The woman squatted down and picked up the little girl. Stop, all of you. The woman quickly stopped them. As the woman's voice subsided, the servant who was chasing the wolves away finally stopped. One of the white wolves howled. Seeing the little boy being pressed to the ground, it pounced on him like a madman. Let him go, the woman said. Yes, mistress. The little boy was released. The white wolf that rushed past licked the little boy's cheek. This child couldn't have been raised by wolves, right? He's actually mixed in with a wolf pack. Look at his eyes, there's only the fierceness of a beast in them. I'm afraid he'll be a disaster in the future, one of the followers said. The woman walked toward the little boy. Seeing this, the attendants looked at each other. Mistress, it's fine, the woman said with a smile. Hearing this, the followers didn't continue to speak. Soon, the woman successfully approached the little boy and squatted down. The little boy looked at the woman warily, but he still stood there without moving. Do you have parents? The woman's tone was very gentle. The little boy didn't speak. He stared straight at the woman. Do you have a name? The woman continued to ask. However, the little boy still didn't speak. Mother, is he mute? The little girl held the woman's hand and asked curiously. Mistress, I'm afraid this child was raised by wolves. I don't think he can speak, one of the servants said. This child is so pitiful. The woman reached out and wanted to touch the boy's head. However, the boy instinctively dodged. The woman sighed and said to her attendant, bring some food over. Soon, the woman passed the food to the boy. The boy took the food, and there was finally a ripple in his eyes. He took the food and quickly ran to the wolves. He carefully placed the food in the mouth of a white wolf. The white wolf's entire body was dirty, and its snow-white fur had already turned brown. After the white wolf ate some of the food, it refused to continue eating the rest of the food and used its mouth to bring it to the child's hand. Only then did the little boy start wolfing down the food. Let's go. After a long while, the woman finally spoke. Mother, doesn't he have parents? The little girl widened her eyes and looked back at the little boy from time to time. The little boy stood on the spot and looked at the girl curiously. That white wolf is his parents, the woman explained softly. But, that white wolf is very old. He shouldn't be able to live for long. What about him? The little girl said worriedly. The woman sighed and didn't continue speaking. After walking for a long time, the little girl suddenly said, Mother, there are so many people in our Mu family. Can we bring that little brother back to the Mu family? Big Brother Wolf, why don't you like the name Mommy gave you? The little girl asked. I don't like it. The little boy shook his head. How about I give you a name? The girl said with a smile. Sure. The little boy looked at the girl and nodded repeatedly. Mu, what is it? The little girl lowered her head in thought. After a moment, she suddenly said, How about Mu Yang? Bathing in the morning sun, I hope that every day in the future will be as warm as the blazing sun. End of chapter. Chapter 10-11. The memories that didn't belong to her surged into the depths of Lin Yan's mind like a tidal wave. Those faces that she was unwilling to forget, as well as those voices and smiles that she had never forgotten but had already passed away. Mu Yen. Are you alright? Don't forget me. Mu Yen, all the best. Mu Yen, you have to King live. Don't let me see you in the next 100 years. Xiaoyan. Save me. I don't want to die, Xiaoyan. Don't die. Mu Yen, you be starred. Have you forgotten me just like that? We are an iron triangle. Live well and love. Ah. In the dark night, Lin Yen let out a series of screams. A terrifying wave of air rose from her body, and the dozens of evolved beings who had fainted were instantly sent flying by this wave of air. Lin Yen. Wang Jingyang squatted down and comforted Lin Yen. I'm here. I'm here. Xiaoyan. CK. Xing Chen and Ling Yu looked at each other. What had happened? It had only been a few seconds. That man must have used his mental strength to attack Sister Yen. Ling Yu said anxiously. Xing Chen frowned. No matter how high Miss Lin's evolution level is, she doesn't have much experience. Besides, it's a physical evolution. She definitely can't withstand that kind of pure mental attack. Starred. Xing Chen bellowed and flew to Sibai's side. However, just like before, the bronze wall appeared again. It blocked Xing Chen outside. Although Xing Chen's fist was hard, the bronze wall was even harder. Given his strength, he still couldn't break the bronze wall's defense. The painful memories drowned Lin Yen like a tidal wave. Those familiar smiling faces could no longer be found in her memories. They had existed before, and every single one of them had made her work hard and unforgettable. Every single one of them had been indispensable in her life. Now, everything was like a passing word. Those familiar smiling faces and the scene of them fooling around, they smiled and blessed her. At the last moment of despair, they still stood in front of her. How could she forget them? What right did she have to forget them? How could she forget them? Mu Yen, I'll give you a little flower. Mu Yen, remember. Death isn't scary. What's scary is that you no longer have the desire to live. I know that you'll forget us. Live well, your knight will always be here. Mu Yen, I really like you. Don't die in front of me. If I die one day, remember to burn a few men for me. I want some good-looking ones. But before that, I will always be by your side. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck. It was like a nightmare that made Lin Yan's head explode. She remembered those faces. She would never be able to let go of the past. Lin Yan's screams intensified. Xing Chen clenched his teeth, turned back, and said hurriedly, let's leave with Miss Lin first. That person is too strong. Why? Suddenly, Lin Yan's scream stopped, and her hair fell to the ground. What? Ling Yu walked forward and squatted beside her. Sister Yen, what did you say? Why? Why? Why is it me? Lin Yan's voice was laced with uncontrollable rage. End of chapter. Chapter 10-12. Xing Chen and Ling Yu were completely dumbfounded. They thought that Lin Yen had gone crazy because she had suffered a serious mental injury. The two of them watched as Lin Yen laughed unrestrainedly. The next moment, she was overcome with grief as tears streamed down her cheeks. Why is it me? Lin Yen mumbled softly. Miss Lin, are you all right? What are you talking about? Xing Chen looked worried. Ling Yu placed her palm gently on Lin Yan's shoulder. Get lost. To everyone's surprise, Lin Yen suddenly stood up as though she had been struck by lightning. Lin Yen bellowed furiously. In an instant it was as though time had stopped because of Lin Yan's roar. Xing Chen and Ling Yu, who were squatting beside Lin Yan, felt as though their hearts had been grasped by an invisible force. Both of their pupils suddenly shrank. A second later, there was a loud bang. Xing Chen and Ling Yu fainted on the spot due to Lin Yan's uncontrollable aura. Xiaofan, Wang Jingyang stood up silently and gazed at the girl who was about to lose control. Tears trickled down his cheeks as he stood rooted to the ground. "I've always been here." Wang Jingyang stepped forward and hugged Lin Yan gently. "Besides, I've always been prepared. I'll let you live well. They won't be able to hurt you or the people around you anymore. As long as I'm still here, as long as I'm not dead. If I really leave one day, you'll forget me. You'll forget everything. I can't accept this." Their foreheads were tightly pressed against each other, but their tears were mixed together. No one knew exactly what they had experienced or what they were enduring. "Are you done with your act?" Si Bai stood in the distance and asked with a faint smile. As Si Bai's voice fell, Wang Jingyang slowly turned his head. His pair of terrifyingly calm eyes seemed to pierce through his heart. Si Bai couldn't help but frown. This was the first time he had seen such a terrifying gaze. Was this the gaze of a human? Why did he see a terrifying beast in this man's eyes? "You deserve to die." Wang Jingyang let go of Lin Yan and strode toward Si Bai with a gloomy expression. "Oh, I was negligent. You are indeed a terrifying body evolver, but you are not my match." "Stop, it has nothing to do with you." Si Bai said, "I just want her life. Her debt will naturally be repaid. You're the one who reminded her of despair and the abyss." Wang Jingyang didn't reply and just muttered to himself. "Interesting." The corners of Si Bai's mouth curled up slightly. "If you're courting death, don't blame me for not giving you a way out. You deserve to die." Wang Jingyang took a step forward and instantly appeared in front of Si Bai. It was as if he had played with time and space and redefined time. Upon seeing this, Si Bai's expression suddenly changed, and he subconsciously retreated backward. Change the order of time and distort space? Si Bai looked at Wang Jingyang in surprise. Chapter 10-13. Wang Jingyang stared at the iron wall in front of him and fell silent. "This will be the strongest defense, even if you unlock the gene." Before Si Bai could finish his sentence, Wang Jingyang had already thrown a punch. Rumble. An ear-splitting sound spread in all directions, and the iron wall in front of him exploded instantly. There was no longer anything between the two of them. Si Bai looked at Wang Jingyang, who was very close to him, with a look of disbelief in his eyes. How was that possible, in this world, which evolver could actually evolve his body to such a terrifying state? With just one punch, the defense he was so proud of was instantly shattered and no longer existed. Si Bai didn't have time to be shocked. As he retreated, a few indescribable huge beasts appeared out of thin air and blocked Wang Jingyang's path. Level 8 evolved beasts. Each of them has a Class S evolutionary power. You can try and see which of you has a stronger body. Si Bai sneered coldly. "I won't play with you today. If you want to protect that woman, remember to stay by her side at all times. Don't leave her side at all. I will be everywhere." Si Bai turned around and disappeared into the night. Wang Jingyang frowned as he watched the beasts pounce on him. That man's evolutionary power was really strange. He had never seen such an evolutionary power before. After dealing with the beasts, Wang Jingyang returned to Lin Yan's side. Lin Yan was still squatting on the ground. She was holding her head with both hands, as though she was experiencing an incomprehensible pain. "Xiaoyan. Everything will return to normal. I will accompany you and wait for that person to come looking for you. Then, I will take him, and disappear forever. I might, be ready. Wang Jingyang squatted down and gazed at Lin Yan. Mu. Yang, Lin Yan opened her reddish eyes, looking puzzled and nostalgic. She had all sorts of complicated emotions. Xiaoyan. Long time no see. I miss you so much. Wang Jingyang stared at Lin Yan. Their eyes met, and in that instant, the rims of their eyes reddened. I miss you, miss him, miss her. Lin Yan reached out her hand. I'm afraid. I've already unlocked the third stage gene. Xiaoyan, I'm ready, Wang Jingyang said with a smile. A third stage gene. You can't. Lin Yan shook her head. We've been on the run for a long time, haven't we? Wang Jingyang murmured. There's nothing left for us to lose. I'll take back what was taken from you with my own hands. My Tier 3 gene is always waiting for this battle. I will die. Lin Yan gritted her teeth. Compared to death, I'm more afraid. Wang Jingyang gazed at Lin Yan, his eyes filled with reluctance. He wanted to say something, but he didn't. Do you still remember? We snuck out for a trip. That was the first time we saw the Azure Sea. Wang Jingyang shut his eyes as he watched Lin Yan's body emit a faint glow. Can you let me hear your voice again? In this world, your reflection is everywhere, but my you, where do you want to go? Yan. I know you'll never give in to fate. But this time, please don't think about it again. Wang Jingyang gently wiped the tears from the corners of Lin Yan's eyes. He didn't know if he was still smiling. Chapter 10-14. Lin Yan gazed at Wang Jingyang as she reached out to grab something. However, there was nothing around her. In her mind, the man in her eyes appeared. He stretched out his hand, but his cold face could not hide the tenderness in his eyes. Finally, she couldn't take it anymore and started to run away, crashing cars, oblivion. The corners of Wang Jingyang's mouth curled up when he saw the glow on Lin Yan's body. He had never smoked, so he took a pack of cigarettes and a lighter from Xingchen. He lit the cigarette, and the surroundings were filled with smoke. They just wanted to live, that was all. However, it was so difficult. However, her ability was really beautiful and special, but also very cruel. Go to sleep. I'll always be here. Wang Jingyang chuckled softly beside Lin Yan. After some time, Lin Yan felt a splitting headache. Her head felt like it was about to explode, and everything in front of her was a little blurry. A few minutes later, Lin Yan snapped back to her senses. Lin Yan, you're finally awake. Wang Jingyang chuckled softly at Lin Yan. Mu Yang. Lin Yan glanced at Wang Jingyang and spoke softly. At Lin Yan's words, the smile on Wang Jingyang's face vanished. A layer of mist formed in his eyes as tears trickled down his cheeks. He had a hard time pretending. Doggy, why are you crying? Lin Yan glanced at Wang Jingyang and patted her head. Did I scare you? I'm sorry. I really didn't expect it to be so dangerous. Otherwise, I wouldn't have asked you to come. Don't cry. I was wrong, yeah, it scared me. I'm scared. After some time, Wang Jingyang grinned at Lin Yan. What's going on? Where's Sibai? Lin Yan staggered to her feet. She was still puzzled. Who was Mu Yang? Why had she felt a strong urge to call his name? However, she couldn't remember anything at all. What was going on? After Sibai appeared, she had a splitting headache. She had no memory of what happened after that. Xingchen, Lingyu, when she saw that Xingchen and Lingyu were still unconscious, she rushed forward to check on them. Ah! Xingchen took a deep breath, as if he had been holding it in for a long time. Who sneak attacked me? Xingchen immediately stood up and looked around vigilantly. Previously, he was fine, but his heart felt as if it was being squeezed tightly by someone, and then he lost consciousness. Not long after, Lingyu also woke up. Sister Yan, are you all right? Lingyu heaved a sigh of relief when she saw that Lin Yan was fine. Lin Yan nodded. I'm fine. It's good that you're fine. That man's power of evolution is so powerful. Where is he? Lingyu looked around. Xingchen and Lingyu deeply believed that they had fainted because of Sibai's power of evolution. They ran away, Wang Jingyang said. Who chased him away? Asked Lin Yan curiously. You. Wang Jingyang laughed. Me? Lin Yan was startled. How could she have been chased away by him? She had no memory of it at all. Well, anyway, I only saw him being beaten away by you. I don't know anything else, Wang Jingyang said. Miss Lin, you're too strong. Xingchen's eyes widened as he stared at Lin Yan in astonishment. Lin Yan shook her head. I can't remember, but I was chased away. Oh yeah, where's Qi Feng? That kid ran away a long time ago, replied Wang Jingyang. Lin Yan was speechless. End of this chapter. Maybe I'm not fated. By the time you find a helper, the cucumber will be cold. At that time, you can do the most loyal thing, and that is to help us collect the corpses. I'll burn some joss paper or something, Xingchen said. Don't worry. I definitely won't shirk these small matters. Qi Feng nodded. Lin Yan was speechless. Wang Jingyang, Xingchen, Lingyu. Actually, Lin Yan didn't blame Qi Feng. This had nothing to do with Qi Feng, so there was no need to get involved because of them. Chapter 10:16. However, Lin Yan hadn't expected Qi Feng to be an evolved being. Qi Feng, you're an evolved being. Lin Yan glanced at Qi Feng thoughtfully. Hearing that, Qi Feng fell into silence. After a moment, he said, I am indeed an evolver. Xingchen suddenly frowned. You're an evolved being. Why did you ask Miss Lin Yan to film a video? If you can't explain yourself today, I'm afraid it won't be easy for you to leave. Qi Feng frowned and glanced at Xingchen. Kid. What do you mean? Who's a kid? Who are you calling a kid? Xingchen popped a lollipop into his mouth. Qi Feng was speechless. Miss Lin, I suspect that the man from before colluded with Qi Feng to trick us here, Xingchen told Lin Yan. Qi Feng hurriedly denied it. This has nothing to do with me. That man didn't know him at all. Think about it. If I was really with him, I could have just brought him to Miss Lin Yan. Why would I go through so much trouble to bring you guys along? Qi Feng is right. Lin Yan nodded. Sister Yan, even if he isn't with that man, he must have a motive. We have to make him explain, said Lingyu. Lin Yan's gaze landed on Qi Feng. After sizing him up, Lin Yan frowned. Qi Feng, you said that you've had a wuxia dream since you were young. Before Lin Yan could finish, Qi Feng pointed to the sky and swore. Miss Lin Yan, if I lied to you, I wouldn't be human. I really had a wuxia dream since I was young. You're an evolved being. Do you still need a wuxia dream? Lin Yan frowned. Qi Feng was puzzled. An evolved being is an evolved being, and a wuxia dream is a wuxia dream. Is there a conflict between the two? This, Xing Chen stared at Qi Feng. He wanted to retort, but he realized that this fellow's words made sense. Can't I sleep in a hotel just because I'm used to 5-star hotels? Can't I eat egg-fried rice because I'm used to eating delicacies? Could I? Stop. Xing Chen hurriedly stopped Qi Feng, who was about to speak, and said, "All right, we believe that you have a Wuxia dream. Please don't explain any more. I'm afraid I'll lose control." Qi Feng, why did you ask us to film this video? I hope you can tell us the truth. Lin Yan stared at Qi Feng intently. Hearing this, Qi Feng fell silent. After a long time, Qi Feng said, "I have a wuxia dream." Lin Yan was speechless. Xing Chen said, "That's enough. Okay. I'll tell you, okay?" Qi Feng sighed. "You know that devil, right?" "What devil?" Xing Chen did not understand. "It's that demoness," Qi Feng said. "Are you playing with me?" "Which demoness?" Xing Chen said angrily. "How would I know which demoness she is?" "That's what everyone calls her. She's quite a ruthless demoness. She's very famous in the circle of evolvers. However, she's very mysterious. Almost no one has seen her before," Qi Feng said. Lin Yan was speechless, Ling Yu was speechless, so, the demoness that Qi Feng spoke of couldn't be the person that Bai thought she was, right? Start updating begging for double monthly tickets. La 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 la. End of this chapter. Chapter 10:17. Bai wasn't the only one. Even Ling Yu had said that she was very similar to that demoness. Could she really be a demoness? Had she disappeared because she had been severely injured and lost her memory? Otherwise, how could she be so powerful? She had beaten the black-robed man and Bai away. She was too powerful. If she was a demoness, that would explain everything. However, Lin Yan thought about it carefully. She didn't seem to have any incomplete memories. How could she be related to the demoness? Could she have a split personality? Or had Pei Yucheng possessed her and used her identity to become a demoness? The more she thought about it, the more ridiculous she found it. The hole in his imagination was indeed a little too big. Why haven't I heard of a demoness? Xing Chen was deep in thought. Oh, you must be ignorant. If you have nothing to do, go to the Evolved People's Forum. There are many secrets there. Qi Feng grinned. What? The Evolved People's Forum? There's such a thing? Xing Chen was startled. Do you know how to surf the internet? Asked Qi Feng. Xing Chen shook his head naturally. I don't know how to. Oh. Then it's fine, said Qi Feng. Xing Chen was speechless. Why did he feel like he was being looked down upon? So you approached us and asked the original crew to film a video. What does this have to do with the demoness? Lin Yan glanced at Qi Feng. Actually, an old man asked me to do that. He said that you and the demoness are a little similar. Besides, this lady also looks like someone, so he asked me to gather all of you and make a video for him to take a closer look, said Qi Feng. Old man? What old man? Ling Yu suddenly frowned. Was he going to film her too? I'm not sure. Qi Feng shook his head. I'm not sure. You'd better tell the truth. Ling Yu said abnormally. I really don't know. Qi Feng sighed. If you don't even know who he is, why did you agree to do such a thing for him? Why did you even spend money to hire us to film a video? Asked Lin Yan. There are 120,000 words in the world. Which word do you think can make a person lose himself? Qi Feng sighed. Power. Xing Chen instinctively said. Qi Feng shook his head and glanced at Lin Yan. Lin Yan replied without hesitation, money. Qi Feng, is it love? Wang Jingyang asked softly. Qi Feng's eyes flickered when he heard Wang Jingyang's words. He couldn't help but clap. Yes, it's love. Lin Yan was speechless. Xing Chen, this brother understands it thoroughly. It's nothing more than love. Qi Feng sighed. Lin Yan stared at Qi Feng in surprise. So, you like that old man? Qi Feng, Xing Chen, Ling Yu, Wang Jingyang. Qi Feng frowned and said, what do you mean I like that old man? I like his daughter. He said that as long as I take a video of Miss Lin and Miss Ling Yu carefully, he will agree to let me date his daughter. F***ck. I don't care if you like that old man or his daughter. Why did you betray us? Lin Yan looked displeased. Actually, none of this is important. Selling you? No, liking her daughter is just incidental. It's mainly because I've had a martial arts dream since I was young, Qi Feng said. End of chapter. You're tuning into the Xiaofan's Wuxia Tales YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.